Non-health sciences.
Secretary of Awesome, please speak roll call.
President Free,
Present.
Vice President Mandershans,
Present.
Treasurer Markert,
Here.
Parliamentarian Navarre, Senator Abai,
Present.
Senator Adams, Senator Allegria,
Here.
Senator Baber,
Present.
Senator Belogan,
Yeah.
Senator Billings, Senator Byram, Senator Bradley,
Here.
Senator Chacon,
Here.
Senator Davis,
Here.
Senator Gamarian, Senator Guy, Senator Karina Hernandez,
Here.
Senator Christian Hernandez,
Here.
Senator Jumper, Senator Leverett,
Here.
Here.
here,
Absent.
absent. Senator Luna,
Here.
Senator Mahfood,
Here.
Senator Martin,
Here.
Senator Martinez, Senator Medina,
Here.
Senator Miller,
Present.
Senator Musni,
Here.
Senator Ulushina, Senator Rogers,
Here.
Senator Schultz,
Here.
Senator Segal, Senator Shelton,
Here.
Senator Shipley, Senator Said,
Here.
Senator Templeman,
Here.
Senator Toole,
Here.
Senator Williams,
Here.
Senator Yen,
Here.
Senator Zerlin.
Be good. One last part. Is there any discussion about the minutes from November 12th? No. All right. All in favor of approving the minutes from November 12th, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. All right. Thank you for being here today. This will be the last meeting until, we're not going to have a meeting next week, obviously, for Thanksgiving. So we'll meet the weekend after that, and that'll be our last official meeting for the semester. Secretary Srinivasan and I went to Austin this weekend, met with numerous members of BT System, talked about numerous issues, talked about smoking on campus, talked about guns on campus, talked about tuition fee increases and what the other schools are doing with those issues as well. So it was a good conversation. If you want details, grab me afterwards and I'll go into detail with you. Dr. Mabry wanted me to, he sent me an email and I want to make sure I get it right. So I'll pull it up really quick. Basically, it's sent his thanks for everyone's opinion on the issue of smoking and that he will be making a policy in January. So everything there is finalized and he will, it's all up to him now. So he'll be making that decision in January after consulting with HR. Other than that, I don't have anything. Thank you again for being here today. Vice President Mandershans.
So I'm in contact with Jean Stanley, who is the head librarian. Very fantastic lady, by the way. But if any library matters of any sort, come talk to me. I'm going to try and set up a meeting with her very soon. She is in favor of the 2 a.m. change that we supported. So that's looking good. Like Alex Free said, our last meeting will be December 3rd. I went to the faculty senate, and they said that they want more summer programs. They want more students to stay over during the summertime. So think of some summer programs. They asked me to talk to you about this, things that we can do over the summer to keep more students involved. The last thing, Angel Tree is going on right now. It is in the residence halls, O Hall, Patriot Village, and Eagles, as well as the Student Life and Leadership. There was an email sent out to every student, so they have all the information on that. If you have any questions at all, let me know. And also, I have some angels here with me today. If you guys would like to grab some, I'll show you all the sign-up procedures and all of that if you would like one at the end of the meeting. So that is all I have.
Any questions? Secretary Srinivasan.
Hey guys, just one quick thing. If you guys have any concerns or questions over your attendance, whether it's tardies or unexcused absences or excused absences, please email me or grab me after the meeting and I can let you know.
Any questions?
With that, do our absence and everything go over to the next semester or is it restart?
Yes, it goes over to the next semester.
I'd have to look.
I'm pretty sure it does.
I'll go with her on that, but I'll check. Anything else? All right. Treasurer Markert.
Good evening. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry I wasn't able to attend last week. I was at a cross-country meet in Virginia. I saw it was a very long meeting. I'm glad that our secretary here did such a good job with the minutes. I was able to read all 24 pages or 26 pages, whatever, of the minutes. It was pretty awesome. Good job, everybody. I'm glad that we can hold discussion about important things like that. I've been busy with SGAC. We had another request get approved this week. That'll be covered later in tonight's meeting, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions?
Just reminding you that head of constituency forms are given, so if
haven't turned them to me already. Turn them by the end of it.
Any questions about that? Okay. Moving on, old business. Student service fee increase. Treasurer Martin.
I'll make a motion to open up discussion for the student service fee increase.
So all in favor of opening discussion about the student service fee increase, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. All right.
Okay, I can speak first. So I wasn't able to kind of give my 2 cents last week of what I think about this. I am the chair of the Student Fee Advisory Committee. That last year is my first year doing it. So I feel like I have a pretty firm grasp and understanding of what this fee is and what it goes towards. I have some stuff pulled up on my computer here, and I have some examples of how this fee benefits the students. It goes towards career services, co-curricular fund, counseling and testing, the financial aid office, intramurals, leadership and service, learning communities, student government, student life and leadership, student outreach, student publications, and veterans in the Veterans Resource Center. These are just a few of the things that these fees go towards. This fee goes directly to the students. It benefits the students. So, and also the last time it was set was in 1998. That was the last time that it was increased. It was set to $11 per semester credit hour and with a cap of $150. Before this meeting, I was looking up just a few UT schools because every school has this fee. UT Permian Basin, who has a student enrollment of about 5,500 students, their fee is $13.50 per semester credit hour with a max of $250. And so also looking into the future to a school the size of UTEP, about 23,000 students. That's the size that we are going to eventually become, or that's the goal for UT Tyler. They have a $15 per semester credit hour student fee, and I believe, I didn't write down their max for some reason, but I believe that their max there is $185 per semester. Both of these fees much higher than our fee. The fact that, like I said, this fee was last set in 1998, I think is enough to say that we do need to increase this fee. I would like, though, to have more people from administration come and give some presentations or give a presentation about this fee specifically if they want us to raise it. I don't feel like I've been given or you guys have been given enough sound information about this fee. That's my opinion on it.
Yes, Senator Bradley.
Could we repeat exactly how much the increase would be? What our cap would be?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
You know, we can see, and that's where I don't know. I don't know the law, the way the law is worded. I think that we are allowed to increase it. I don't know how much we're allowed to increase it by. I think we might be able to increase it 10%. So if we raise it, let's just say $1, make it $12 per SCH semester credit hour, and then raise the fee by 10, or not the fee, the cap by 10% as well, roughly 10% as well. If it were up to me, I would like to do more if we were able to raise it more if we were able to, but I don't know what the law allows us to do.
Anybody else?
So if we voted on it now, we wouldn't be voting on a firm increase. We would just be voting to increase it because we don't know what we can increase it, right?
You know, we could vote on it now. This is something that as far as to the best of my knowledge, I don't think that we should vote on it now until we have something firmly in writing, because to the best of my knowledge, this is something that we can change. I don't think that this goes to the president. I think when we say it, it changes. And so I don't think that, in my opinion, that's not something we should do unless we have something in writing and we have it firmly figured out and we have more information and we know what we're going to increase it to and a cap and all that.
Senator Zipporah.
I think that just based off what everybody's been saying is that I think we all kind of generally like the idea, but we're uncertain because we can't see the numbers. So I'd like to table it or to make a motion to close discussion and table until we have numbers and then vote when we have the numbers.
Second.
All in favor of tabling this discussion? And please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Next on the agenda is the tuition increase that Dr. Dodican presented last week. Is there a motion?
Motion to open up discussion about the tuition increase.
Second.
All in favor of opening discussion about the tuition increase, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions?
Okay. So we talked to Harold Doty today about the tuition increase, and he wants us to define more specific points to help benefit the students and the faculty as well. They have 4 points, and I don't know them off the top of my head exactly. Yeah, there's like student success and strategic growth. There's faculty and development, and then there was one more. They wanted us to try and define more of the strategic growth and the student development, and kind of have our 2 cents on that subject, so that they could move forward and see exactly what our plans were. They don't know the exact allocation method still of moving forward with the 5% increase, but we were working on that.
So what day was it that they needed, what day was it that they're sending it to the region board?
All right, they're sending the proposal December 7th. I spoke to him today and told him that I don't know how much time is going to be needed. And he said that it doesn't necessarily have to be in by December 7th. It can wait until, they need it by February for the board meeting. So obviously we don't have a ton of time when we come back, but like I said, I asked for extra time for that reason, because I'd like for Laura Jackson or for Dr. Doty to come back and give us more specifics. And I know Jacob and we talked about having a town hall meeting sometime either the week after Thanksgiving or the week when we get back, and actually having them go up and present it, because I felt like that was important.
Because we are so pressed for time, it's difficult to bring all these things in at one time and express it all to the students. So yeah, we're trying to have a town hall after Thanksgiving. I think it's a good idea. Harold Doty will be there to explain more in depth exactly what the plan will entail. So yeah, that's what we're planning.
Trisha McCurt.
Is there a reason why we have only been like? Is there a reason why we didn't get a month notice, a couple months notice on this? I feel like increasing the tuition can't just be done. They can't expect us to get students' opinions in a week or two. I think that we need more time to do this. They can't just expect our opinion in a week. So I'm glad that we have until, it sounds like February now. That's better than having to turn it in by December, because I personally don't think that I can vote in favor of wanting to increase the tuition, given off of the minutes I read for Dr. Doty's speech last week. I think that we need, again, like the student service fee, we need more people to come in and speak to us about what is this money going to go towards? How is this going to benefit the students? There should be a plan. There should be an action plan. I would like more notice from the administration.
What had happened was there was a change in the leadership, the senior leadership, who basically spearheaded this whole tuition increase. There was a change, and they didn't see the urgency of this tuition increase until just recently. And so this is why we are just hearing about it now, whereas other schools have heard about it a month and a half in advance, and they were able to plan for it a month and a half in advance. So I am just as disappointed as y'all are. So we have to work with the timeline that we have, and talk to our constituents and see what they want to propose as part of this tuition plan, what they want to see basically allocated, I should say.
Senator Miller.
I'm very in favor of the town hall, and I support what the treasurer has said. So I guess I'd really like to make a motion to end discussion until further support is given from administration.
Second.
All in favor of ending discussion and taking the tuition increase discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. All right. Senator appointment. We have an open student body at large seat, and Sarah, would you like to come up and speak?
I hope most of you guys know me. I've been here the whole semester. Sarah Freshour. I was in Senator for O-Hall. Yesterday I found out that I was extended a job offer at Eagles Landing, which I accepted because I need a kitchen. So I will be at Eagles Landing next semester, and obviously I can't be a senator for O-Hall living in Eagles. And so I would like to fill this open position in student body at large. That way I can still remain active in student government. It's been a really great experience so far, and I just want to keep staying in student government.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll clarify something she didn't clarify really quick. She did resign. She's no longer, she's not a senator anymore. She didn't clarify, but I want to clarify that she's opened that seat, that O-Hall seat up as well. All right. Senator Hickman.
I just wanted to say that I think Sarah's been a huge asset to us all semester. She's been Senator of the Month. I can't remember which month it is. She's been named the chairman of the committee. She's done several great things for us all semester, and I think that we should let her have this, or appoint her to this student body at large spot, just simply because she just lost eligibility because she got a better job. I don't think that should hinder how she participates in our student government.
Any discussion?
Motion to vote on Sarah Freshour taking the student body at large position.
Second.
All in favor of appointing Sarah Freshour to the student body at large session? Please raise your hand. All opposed? Any abstentions?
Great, and praise and hand the offer. And I'm all ready.
All right, I guess we're going. Can I get a? All right, so, I
Sarah Freshour.
do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I shall faithfully represent
that I shall faithfully represent
the interests of the student body
the interests of the student body
of the University of Texas.
of the University of Texas.
Shall dutifully uphold and preserve
I shall dutifully uphold and preserve
the Constitution and bylaws
the constitutions and bylaws
of the student body
of the student body
while utterly executing the office
while ardently executing the office of student body at large
of the Student Government Association of the University of Texas.
of the Student Government Association of the University of Texas.
Yeah, thank you.
Sarah.
Just for clarification purposes, you're still the chair of your committee, so I guess since you resigned and came back, I'll appoint you to the chair position of the student affairs committee. No, you're good. No, you're good. You're good there. Yeah. Any other new business? Senator Baber?
I'd like to move to present kind of a third option for a motion of the smoking debate that's been going on. It's about a student referendum, and just kind of think it's a third option that we haven't really talked about yet, but would love to do that if you all are so inclined.
Second.
All in favor of, I'm sorry, that was a long motion.
I'd just be presenting a resolution on a student referendum.
Okay. All in favor of presenting a motion on a student referendum, please raise your hand. All right, all opposed? All right, the motion's passed.
So whereas the smoking resolution previously passed by the Senate requires a significant alteration to students' daily lifestyle, and whereas when prescribing such alterations to a free people is the duty of a responsible student senate to be certain that it does so with the undoubted consent of the student body it serves, whereas the presence of multiple opposed students before the Senate, the speaker's podium, and the submission of a ballot petition in opposition to the resolution has shown that the number of students in opposition to the smoking resolution is of a considerable size, whereas the presence of senator speeches made to the Senate on behalf of constituents in favor of the resolution has illustrated an increased amount of student interest in the issue, whereas it is difficult for the Senate to ascertain the will of the student body in regards to the smoking resolution, Now, therefore, be resolved, the smoking resolution is therefore rescinded from the President of the University of Texas at Tyler, and resolved in order to ensure the Student Senate may rightfully represent those who have entrusted it with its power. The smoking resolution be submitted to the student body by referendum at the time of the upcoming student government election for the student body's approval. So basically what this does is, I know we passed a resolution earlier in the session, and I respect the body's decision on that. However, this basically takes all the heat off, because I think that we've had a lot of students come in, express their opinion about it. We've had other senators that have also expressed their opinion about it. And this basically puts this in the hand of the students. And this would be a referendum in the spring that they could then go to the ballot and they could vote on. Because I believe that this is something that obviously restricts a lot of people. And as a senator, I personally don't really feel comfortable with dealing with that. I would rather just the students vote on it. If everyone really is that everyone is really that for limiting smoking parking lots, then let the students do that for themselves. But if we were elected with 5% of the vote here at UT Tyler, so we have to keep that in consideration, that we honestly maybe aren't truly representing the students that are going to be most affected by this. Secondly, I know this is my first semester to be a senator here, and this was the original resolution that was passed by the student body, was passed the third week of session. So we had an introduction, you're welcome, how are y'all doing? I think then 2 weeks we had of new business. On that second week of new business, we were presented with a resolution. I had not heard anything about it except for 20 minutes beforehand. And then we were given a 10-minute time limit, which, looking back on it, that's really not in accordance with Robert's rules for discussion. And so there was no 2/3 vote asked by this body, and then it was just kind of put right through with very little opposition. I did not feel informed about it, and so I do not know that the resolution that was passed by this body is truly what this body meant to pass or not, or if it was just we're all new, we didn't really know the order of things, and so we passed it. So this is kind of a third option. We've had students present something, we've presented something. Obviously, I know President Mabry said that he's going to kind of talk about it and make the final decision. It's up to him. But this is just something that we can say, you know what, we're giving this to the student body to kind of talk about, to decide for themselves. And if this is really something that they want, then it won't change anything that's going forward. But that's time to know. Open for questions.
Senator Miller.
Okay, I respect your complaint with the presentation of what your vote was going towards about backing not smoking. I understand that. I don't agree with your option to open up for a student body poll or a student body vote, just because I feel that under the right campaigning, anybody would be able to push their own personal agenda through. So I really just don't want to leave that up, because if such a small margin of the student body is really turning out to vote, I mean, it would be really easy to convince a certain number to go out and vote in a way that you favor for your agenda, in a way that's going to skew the general polls of the smoking. Because really, I've only seen about 2 to 3 students come in to actually to say anything about this, and I feel like they're all from a similar demographic background. They're all from Ohio. They're probably all in a similar group or club, organization, or friend circle, however you want to put it. And I really don't think that they represent the large majority of the people that don't favor smoking on campus. So just for the sake of private campaigning, I'm going to vote against your option.
Yeah, I think you raised up some great points. This is what I would say, is no one here have I said that I am personally for smoking. I'm a pre-medical person. I think smoking personally is a horrible decision for you to make, because I think it's very unhealthy for you. However, what I do have a problem with is having a big government solution to really something that can be done with small government. And what we're trying to do with this, what is supposedly the intent of the resolution that we passed, was to prevent people from having secondhand smoke. Well, how is consolidating all that to the parking lot going to do that? I think there are other things I think we can enforce the rules we already have, which are not enforced, move people further back, and that would also do it. So I think that the resolution we passed was hasty. I don't think that everyone was informed about it. I don't think we had adequate discussion, which is what this democratic body should be about. And then we've obviously had students, and to your point, yeah, we don't have a very active student body here. I think that's sad. But honestly, until this semester, there's really not been that many people that have come to this back room and then have sat here. Last semester, there was a huge group of people who came in with one of the issues that they were passionate about, and that was really unprecedented before. So having people come in at all is really kind of saying something. So I'm not sure that just because only a couple people have come in to express their opinions, especially some people aren't freshmen, I think that actually does say more, but I understand your points at the same time.
Vice President Anderson?
Why are we here? Why are we here? That is the question I have.
As a body,
Yes, why do we meet?
okay, we are here to represent the student body
Okay.
and to hear their concerns and to try to do whatever we can.
Vote
help
on
the
behalf of the
student body.
students.
Right.
Okay.
Senator Rutherford?
I actually agree with Senator Baker in the fact that I'm very much so against smoking, but it's not our responsibility to limit it on campus. I am in favor of putting it up to a referendum, giving the choice to the students. I do respect your opinion. I do agree that a small group of students could kind of leave the votes to be unbalanced. But as far as I know, one of the most active groups on campus is Senator Poole's group, which is against smoking. So I'd say there'd be a pretty fair balance there between the two opposing sides. So,
Point of information.
yeah.
My student organization doesn't keep an official roster and also doesn't have a large involvement. Most of our participants come from other classes, volunteering and things like that. So it's not like I have a large student organization.
You have to-
I mean, I personally do, but I wouldn't say that my members do.
That's basically all I have to say. If we put it forced to an election, it's not my decision if we do it or not. But if we gave the option to the students, I'd say that the sides would be fairly balanced when it comes down to the debate.
Senator,
Could we put it up on the screen? So we can see it?
I am unable to put it on the screen. Otherwise, it would not be able to.
Yeah, I just have the paper.
so can I see the paper? All right, yeah, Senator.
I personally kind of agree with Jared about this. I kind of think that one thing that you said that I did slightly disagree with is the fact that it was just about secondhand smoke. It's also about being, able to receive that grant money. And as a university, our whole purpose is to educate students and provide opportunities to enhance your future. You're here to gain a better career for yourself. And I feel like if we deny people this grant money, all for, even though we work all this time to try and pass and get opinions here, and we've passed resolutions, we've polled, we've done all of this stuff, we've taken multiple people's opinions, but at the end of the day, we're denying people an opportunity to get their career, which is the sole purpose of this university. And, I just don't see that why that's beneficial to students on campus.
Yeah, I'll let you comment on that. From my understanding is we do not get money until we are a smoke-free campus.
Correct.
So passing this resolution, or if we do what we say we're going to do, it doesn't help us either way. So if the real object is to have a smoke-free campus, then I think that should be the main objective. And that, because as of now, if the objective is for less secondhand smoke, I think there are better ways of doing that. If the sole objective is to get a smoke-free campus to get the money, then I think that needs to be the main selling point to the student body.
Senator Toole?
Okay, I appreciate your reasoning behind it, and I understand where you're coming from. However, I just want to clarify, if you're new to Senate, so there's gonna be a lot of questions, you don't have to answer them immediately. How do you know that this is a precedent to have students even come in and speak? If you haven't been involved in SGA previously, how can you speak for what happened in other SGAs? Because I know in previous years SGAs, not necessarily last year, but prior years, there has been heavy student involvement, and that's something that fluctuates a lot year to year. Also want to point out that we had a 7.5% turnout for voters in the spring, and we ran on a tobacco-free platform. 11 of us did. And so we had 7.5% of student support, a tobacco-free platform. And then originally in the spring, we did pass a tobacco-free resolution for the university. And at the time, it wasn't something that was up for discussion in administration. And we've come a long way since then. We have been able to get people to the table to talk about it. And so the resolution that we passed about the parking lots came from a compromise between President Mayberry and President Free. So yeah, it's not the ideal policy, but it's the compromise that they were willing to make, because to get them to the table was a feat in and of itself. And I understand it's not the ideal policy I want passed, but in the resolution, it does say that there's a 2-year evaluation period. And this is where the grant money and everything comes in, because at that 2-year evaluation period, it would evaluate the effectiveness of having it in parking lots only, and the effectiveness of, decreasing smoking use and stuff like that on campus, as well as evaluated to go completely tobacco free. And at that point, we would transition to be tobacco free, because it would allow them 2 years to implement smoking cessation programs and enforce the policy better and things like that. So I feel like it's not a perfect policy. You're right in that, but I think it's the best compromise that we can have, seeing that President Mayberry and President Free got together to make this compromise. And it's about more than just secondhand smoke, because it does reduce secondhand smoke. It does open up the possibility for grants and research. It does, decrease the number of cigarettes that smokers will use. It does decrease the number of smokers we'll have on campus, and all those ideal things that Healthy People 2020 aims to have.
I hear what you're saying. This is what I have to disagree with, though, is that if it's really something that financially the students are like, oh yeah, we want to get this grant money so that we can do better with, why don't you just put it to the students to decide then? And also, if it's only 7% of people have voted, and that's like the best ever, then that you're meaning to tell me that 7% of people are going to decide, something that's very restrictive. Honestly, it's almost something that like should be on a city level. We're literally acting as a city would act in terms of putting out ordinances with this. So that to me just is a lot of power for a group of people that are only elected with, say, at 7%, and then in the fall we had like horrible turnout, like 4 or 5% or something. So I mean, if only like 7% of people come out and vote for the referendum, then we've given the opportunity for the student body to do what they want, to be represented by themselves in their vote, which is something that, in the 21st century we can do digitally, which is awesome. And so it's an increase of individual liberty and of being able to represent yourself and as a democracy. And so I don't see why we shouldn't do this at the school as a whole. That's my idea.
Senator Leverett. Can you hear me?
Oh, Julie. It was Senator Chacon. So this week I went ahead and asked our constituents for about 4 hours and trying to find as many people as I could. And a lot of them really didn't understand how this was going to affect our campus, because in our campus, we already have it 25 feet away from a specific area. The main entrance doesn't even have smoking permitted on it. And the majority who voted for smoke free said they would rather it just be a designated area like our campus. And they don't see, I didn't understand that this was to deal with a grant. So is this only limited to Tyler campus, or are you enforcing this on the satellite campuses as well?
I think currently, I don't know what the current resolution is.
You want me to answer it? The policy would extend to the University of Texas at Tyler. You guys are the University of Texas at Tyler. You're just you're a satellite campus of it, but you follow the same rules and regulations. So we have the same policies that you guys have right now. So yeah, it would affect the campus.
So how would you motivate, say, the satellite campus to vote? Because I'm not sure if you're aware, but whenever the satellite campuses get information from the Tyler campuses, they don't necessarily see that as this is going to affect us. So you'd have to be able to motivate them if you're going to do the student body voting in order to participate as well.
I don't have an answer to that. I don't have an answer.
I'm just curious of what motivation you're trying to encourage, the student body to vote. Like, what's going to motivate them?
I would like to say with that, regardless of this current resolution that I'm talking about here for the referendum, currently whatever President Mabry decides by the current resolution that was already passed will affect you all. So, it's in my mind, it's like if the satellite campuses didn't realize that this would affect them and they like things the way they are, then they should be involved in a student referendum to keep things the way they are. Because at this point, you're not being represented because you don't. Your constituents don't realize what has been passed, in my mind. That's because you will be affected by whatever has been in place here. And that's currently up for debate, whether we stay as is or we change things to limiting to the parking lot for smoking.
I'm glad you brought this up, but one thing that I would like to bring up is that in our constitution, we don't have to abide by a referendum. It's not in it to abide by it. So the only way we can go through with this is us voting on what we're sending to President Mabry. So the referendum policy, putting it on the ballot is what we do for the constitution and bylaws when we go through amending it. But for the referendum, there's no way we can really enforce that because it's not in our constitution.
Okay. And I mean, I think it was already, like President Priest said, is that it's pretty much the decision of President Mabry at this point, right?
So the thing is, it's his decision solely now because faculty senate and USAC have also voted on it, so he's going to have to address it. But yeah, it's solely in his
because
hands.
we're conflicting currently, correct, with what faculty senate. Faculty senate wants a total ban, whereas we only want
Designated areas.
Designated areas.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
No, we're conflicting with that. I mean, I can show you the email he sent. I mean, if you'd like, I don't mind. Would you like to see it? I can read it.
I don't necessarily care about that. I'm just saying. I think we're obviously having conflicting things from multiple people, so I don't think having one more of the student body's opinion. I mean,
her thing, and I just want to clarify what she said. I'm going to clarify what she said is that there's no policy for putting a referendum in place. We don't have the power to put a referendum in place because there's nothing in the Constitution and bylaws that says we can. That's all she said. I'm just clarifying what she said.
But you're saying that we can't have
a referendum. I would say you could restructure your motion and do it to rescind the letter to President Mabry, but you cannot put it to a student referendum.
So you can't have a public vote on anything, on anything.
Yes.
The only thing that the students can vote on were the amendments to the Constitution and bylaws, as stated in our Constitution.
Is that correct?
During the spring election.
And so that would be, and that's the only type of referendums that we have is amendment
To the
to Constitution referendums.
Those are specifically specified in the Constitution. Specifically specified. The advisor needs, am I correct on that?
I need time to look this up. It's something I don't want to.
I'm sorry, I looked it over. I mean, from my understanding, I'm going to trust parliamentary bar on it, but
okay.
I would say I don't think I would be hesitant on a referendum because there's no policy for putting a referendum in place.
Okay. Well,
good. Yes.
I just would like to say this is a chance for this body, to try the best to rectify, what was done in the past as far as having 20 minutes to vote on something about smoke policy. I've stand here and I've said we'll be on the dead horse and we shouldn't be talking about smoke policy anymore. That why should we still be talking about it? That is already bygone and let's forget about it. Let's let the president do what he has to do. But as we review a chance, to be able to put it in referendum, as we go and review it, like the advisor is going to look at it and see whether it's something that we can do. I would encourage this body, to take a look at it, to allow students, to vote on this matter. And someone brought it to my attention that there was actually a vote that was conducted, this weekend, by the Patriot Teller, that had students about what was their concern about smoking, and they said 87 people voted, and 53 voted yes, there was a problem with smoking, and about 43 voted that we should do something about it. That is they don't see it as a problem, that there's no problem going on with smoking policy. So my whole concern here is, if we worry about whether there's going to be enough people to vote during the election, because if we could get to office, if we could get to the office, become a senator, right here, right now, then students should be able to vote on matters that is going to infringe on their own freedom. Because if you don't allow them to smoke, it's going to infringe their own freedom. And we don't want to be in a situation that University of Missouri are having with racial issues, that they worry that the administration is not listening to them, is not listening to their opinion, is not wanting them to do what they want to do, or to decide on what they need to do. We don't want to say because minority don't want smoking, then we should infringe on the right of the majority want that we should ban smoking, or we should be in transition. Then we use that to infringe on the right of the minority. So I want us to think about this very deeply, and to make our own decision, as far as giving this referendum a chance, if it's something that could be done, if it's something that we could bring along, because I'm listening to the parliamentary, she said maybe it's not something that we could bring today, but if we can do it, let's try and do it. Let's try and let the student vote on this matter, because we have decided on our own 20 minutes to the time, and we should let the student also decide on this.
Vice President Donations.
Olu, Nathan, Mr. Hescock, I think that it's clear that we are beating a dead horse, and we are digging ourselves in a hole, okay? We have voted on this policy already, okay? You have voted on this policy already. You represent your constituents, okay? That's why we're here, to represent the constituents, okay? I feel like it's out of our hands now, okay? It's been taught to the faculty senate, it's been brought to the president, and it's in his hands now. I feel like we are beating a dead horse, and I'm tired of this discussion. I am.
In response to that, Vice President Donations, this is honestly my greatest concern. If this is truly such a great issue, then why was it done the way that it was done? And why was it that the third time, which really only, in my mind, was the second time because we had not conducted business for the first meeting, was it that we had an the bill was introduced and 10 minutes of time put on without a 2/3 vote by the student body, and then it was passed immediately after 10 minutes. And in my mind, that's the greater issue for me there. That immediately puts me in a question whether or not we are truly doing what you said we're supposed to do and represent the student bodies. Because if we're not able to have an open discussion and hear all the issues, then how are we supposed to know which way we should vote? And I think that if we had done it the correct way at the very beginning, and this is truly such a great thing, and we've been open about it, then I think we wouldn't be having these discussions now, because the process would have had its way, and we wouldn't have to be dealing with this. But I do have a problem when we only have 7% of people voting, and that we're elected by that, and that we're not going to have an open process in here, and then we're going to expect that we're going to really go and force everybody else with this opinion. And I understand with the referendum, if it's not legit with that, then that's fine. I would like to move to table this until we come back after Thanksgiving at this point.
All in favor of tabling this resolution until, I'm sorry, yes. Was it
The motion was
yeah,
made
it's already
and
been seconded.
seconded.
Yeah, the motion's been seconded.
It's already been made.
Yeah.
He's already made it.
Yes. So all in favor of tabling this resolution until after Thanksgiving, the meeting after Thanksgiving. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Motion's passed. Thank you. Is there any other new business? Student voice points. Student body at large? Anybody from student body at large? Yes.
We obviously have the major issues that people talk about, like Wi-Fi and things like that. But the one issue that I talked to people about in the last 2 weeks was the tuition increase. And at this point, the students I talked to are not in favor of it, obviously, because no one likes to pay more money. But they didn't want to make a final decision until we did have more information on it. So I'm very pleased with the decision we made earlier to table the motion, to table the. That's what I have.
Do you happen to ask them about the student fee increase, or?
I did, and it was all.
It was all
together.
together.
Anybody else?
Pretty much the same thing. I asked about the tuition increase. They were against it, but the student fees, so long as it didn't affect members of the university getting salary increases, they were fine, which of course that doesn't cover that, so.
Just going off of your two voice reports, just make sure that your constituents know, you guys, that the tuition thing and the student service fee, they're completely separate. The student service fee does go directly to the students. I can't speak for the tuition. I don't know anything or that much about tuition, but the student service fee, like the budgets I named or the departments I named tonight, these things go directly to the students. So just make sure that students know that these are two separate things. They're not really intertwined at all. They're separate. So I think it's just important to know that.
Yes.
I would just like to say that as far as what I've talked to people since the beginning of the semester, since this is my first student voice report. Pretty much as far as the smoking thing goes, I mean, the people that were outside smoking voted against banning smoking, and people that were sitting inside voted for banning smoking. Generally, as the trend would show. I have to say.
Let me touch on Senator Bradley and yours. From what I've gotten from Mr. Doty, the majority of what comes with passing the tuition is like the approval of the Board of Regents, more so. And then no one's given me a clear answer on whether that requires a student referendum. I don't know. I know the majority of the thing is they just want the idea of student support for sending it to the regents. But the student service fee is completely different. I'm not sure the student service fee does not go to the regents. However, the only way those two actually affect each other is when they came in and they asked for a 5% increase in total academic cost. If we raise the student service fee, that would actually come out of their 5% of academic cost. So those are the only two ways, to my knowledge, that those are actually intertwined, but they're completely separate voting processes. Just so everyone's completely clear on, I guess, the formalities of it. Anything else for student body at large?
Are we gonna get any information regarding? Oh wait, never mind. We already talked about it. We're gonna go.
Longview campus.
Hi. So we went and we just talked to some of the evening students here, and their concerns were that they wanted to access to a counselor. We went to the president. There was also other concerns too. I'll tell you the concerns also. They wanted more study rooms in the areas, and what's the other one? So we went and talked to the president about it, and the president said that he was going to try to get some counselors outside of UT Tyler to help with it. But I mean, I personally think that that's something that we're paying student fees for this. And so I feel like that needs to be implemented from the Tyler campus so that these night students who are also students should get counseling with it. As for the student getting study rooms, we were trying to figure out how that's going to work out with our campus, and they're moving things around for that. Also, on good news that we got our campus to be in the Longview Parade. So we're going to be representing Tyler here on December 3rd. So that's when the meeting's going to be. So we're going to be zooming in from, the parade.
Awesome.
Yeah. Also, we've been coordinating an event, Julie and I, to represent the Student Government Association, calling it the Final Dash. It's going to be the December 1st on a Tuesday, and we're acquisitioning funds to raise awareness about the student government. This is the first time the Longview campus has held Senate seats, so we're excited to be able to coordinate an event and have some presence on the campus. And we're going to provide food, and we're going to have a little information station about SGA and what the senator role means, and we're trying to recruit people to take our position in the spring semester because we're both graduating here in December, and so we're excited about that.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Houston, is he not? He's Palestine.
No, we're good.
Robert?
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Oh. All right.
Robert, can you give a quick update on what's been going on this semester, if anything, at Palestine?
No, I really hasn't been much going down. I've been talking with them about two main issues, and that was just basically the smoking issue and the issue that we got a place to study. I'm kind of briefed on both of those. The only thing that I haven't heard mentioned here on this smoking issue was some of them have decided to go do this vaporizing or vapor thing. Is that included in with this smoking cigarettes? It seems to be something kind of totally different. Can you give me an idea what the thought is on that?
Yeah, of course. What I understand, They're included in the policy. So yes, they would be. They would be regulated the same way tobacco would be.
Okay. But that's the only two issues I've seen come up.
All right. Thank you.
We did not meet today.
Oh, I'm sorry, pharmacy. I skipped you guys. Wow, I'm sorry.
You guys are important.
Go ahead. Absolutely.
I talked to the constituents, and their main issue is parking because we're our first year, the IP1 students. There's only 84 of us. Next year, there's going to be 100 students more to us, and next year's going to be 100 more, and next year's going to be 100 more. And the parking lots are already saturated with students coming to go to the library using the parking lot in front of the pharmacy building. So something needs to be done about that. Is their main issue.
All right. Yes.
Senator Billings, have you recommended to your constituents that there is parking over at O Hall, and then it's just that you just have to walk across that path to get to the pharmacy building? It's probably a 5-minute walk. If you park behind O Hall, I think it's lot 18. There's plenty of parking spots back there. I would guess easily over 100 spots on an average day.
If you were to put it into proportions, it would be the same amount as walking from the business building over to the pharmacy. Mm-hmm. Just about the same.
Anything else for pharmacy? No. All right. Thank you guys. All right.
Let's talk about the angel tree thing that I had mentioned earlier. That's really our last event for the semester, so we'll be planning some new fun things for the next semester, so stay tuned for that. Again, I have their angels here, and so if you would like to take an angel and sign one out at the end of the meeting, that's all I have.
Thank you. Communications?
This week we met on Tuesday, as always, and we talked about how to effectively communicate Angel Tree. Jacob is already doing a fantastic job going to residents, all the residents' halls and giving them Angel Trees. So most probably going through Facebook and putting a shout out about Angel Tree. But please let your constituents know that we do have Angel Tree, and we like to get all of them filled out. Thank you.
Thank you. SGC?
Okay, so we met yesterday, and ASHRAE, it's a Youth Tower student chapter, came and talked to us what ASHRAE represents, and their main concern was purchasing books, and so we passed that in order for them, and we'll pass it to the library's responsibility for them to have the books. Specifically for the engineering program, for their mate for them, so that in order for them to use these books, because they have codes that they need, so it'll be good for them. It'll be in good use.
I'd like to clarify that ASHRAE is the American Society for Heating, Refrigeration, Air Conditioning Engineers. That's what ASHRAE stands for.
All right. All right. Anything else? No. Perfect. Rules Committee?
Rules Committee has just been looking over the bylaws, and we're just getting ready for the spring semester.
Thank you. Any questions for Rules Committee? All right. Student Affairs? Yes.
We talked about some of the, I know last week we said what we were going to represent, so to say, and something that we talked about with student affairs is that a lot of these voice reports, any issues that you have with your constituents that have been brought up, if you want to take action on something like parking or the library hours that have been discussed in the past, the committee as a whole just wanted to say that if you wanted to bring those issues to us, we can sit down with you, make a plan how to implement that plan in General Assembly. Because sometimes trying to bring up something in General Assembly and pass it that night gets a little complicated. So you can always feel free to come to Student Affairs and talk to us, and we can make a plan to enforce some, or not enforce, but to do some of the things. We also talked about having committee emails. This is more kind of directed to you guys. If we could possibly make on Blackboard, like each committee had like an email. That way, if people did want to, I mean, I know part of this is email the head of the committee, right?
Yeah, I mean, what we really talked about with that is it's not always clear who the chair of the committees are. And so if we had central emails, then all students would know if they had something related to that committee, who to email and things like that. Like that's just an option, or listing the email for each committee on the website.
Yeah.
Just to add on what Sarah said, like about the library hours, if you want to go talk to her and try to see how you can go forward with that, I would suggest going to her before you bring that motion up so she or that committee can help you write it, get through it, and so it's nicely well worded out. So when you bring it up to GA, you're well prepared for it.
All right, I'll address both of those. I don't know what the rules on sub emails are inside of organizations. I don't know if they can do. I don't know if you can do that. All I know is the four committees. The four standing committees are on the website. The website's currently locked down, so I can't change anything. When it comes back in January, I'll put the new committees up, and I'll put the chair, and I'll put the email up. So that way, at least everyone can see it. I just can't change it right now. I don't know. Let me look on the issue of committee emails. Let me look. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know what the rule is. Yes.
To add to what President Free just said, there is on Blackboard, I believe it's on Blackboard, is the committee, each committee, and then who the chair is, what time they meet, and then who's on each committee. And so I know it might take a little bit more work, but if you see like someone's name on a certain committee, you can go to the website, and their email is on the website. All the senators' emails, I believe, are on the website, right, Josh? Yes. And so you can get a hold of committees that way, but it is listed. Jacob, is that sheet on Blackboard? Yeah, in the contact sheet as well.
Just that we are going to set up a meeting with the Barnes and Noble manager to talk about like kiosks and blue books and stuff like that, and possibly a meeting with Al to talk about adding some sort of food thing here on campus.
Fantastic. Thank you. Life?
We have not met, but I have set a time for our first meeting. We will meet the Thursday after Thanksgiving at 12:45 in the third floor of the UC, and I'll send out a reminder email a week from that.
All right. Thank you. And distance campus.
I'm going to talk to everybody in my committee right after the meeting on Zoom, solely because I felt like that was the best time since we were already using Zoom and we were here. Really, we didn't have a lot of openings that were similar in our schedules, so I chose to go that route. We'll probably just kind of go over what we want to do as a committee and how to more effectively communicate in between the two campuses of what, like what got brought up tonight. Does this affect them, and stuff like that, so that everyone's clear.
Fantastic. Thank you. Advisor?
I did a quick look at the possibilities of doing an election. The special elections only that are outlined pertain to positions within SGA. There's not a referendum policy attached to the Constitution or bylaw. To my knowledge, the Senate has not voted on one this semester. I do encourage the Rules Committee to consider potentially adding that to the bylaw, so that way it's permanent. So I think the Rules Committee needs to potentially look at that. As far as an election, though, I do think student government could, as far as the issue that was brought up, I think it could be, you're going to have to rescind your original resolution, and then part of the new motion would be to, I think you could potentially have an election, but it would have to, because it'd be a scheduled one, it would have to be 4 weeks out based on the guidelines that are for elections. I don't know, because the special elections are specifically catered to positions within SGA. And so I would need some more time to look at it, but just have to quick glance. That's what I was able to gather. Other than that, that's all I have.
All right. Thank you. Any announcements?
So today, somebody in this room has a birthday. So I would like to make a motion that we wish and sing happy birthday to our beloved Vice President, Jacob Anderson, for his birthday.
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
He's out.
All right, start us off.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Secretary Lawson, second roll call.
President Free, Vice President Mandercham, Treasurer Markert,
Here.
Parliamentary Navarre, Senator Vai, Senator Adams, Senator Alegria, Senator Baber, Senator Belogan, Senator Billings, Senator Byram, Senator Bradley, Senator Chacon, Senator Davis, Senator Foss, Senator Gamarian, Senator Guy, Senator Karina Hernandez, Senator Christian Hernandez, Senator Jumper, Senator Leverett,
Here.
Senator Louvier, Senator Luna, Senator Mafood, Senator Martin, Senator Martin, Senator Martinez, Senator Medina, Senator Miller, Senator Musni, Senator Ulashina, Senator Rogers, Senator Schultz, Senator Segal, Senator Shelton,
Here.
Senator Shipley, Senator Said, Senator Templeman, Senator Toole, Senator Williams, Senator Yen, and Senator Zierland.
If you want an angel, come see me. I'm the angel guy.
You're an angel?
Gosh.